Hello, we are continuing our interview with Vanessa, an American belly dancer living and working in Egypt. Curiosity questions now. Having lived in Egypt for 8 years, and you're not dancing 24/7, this is your home. You have daily life going on here. So I'm very curious, what are your favorite non-dance related aspects of life in Egypt? And the opposite of that, what do you like the least? What has been the most problematic for you relocating to live in this country?
Okay, well, you say I don't dance 24/7, and that's true, but my hours now are very weird. Like, for example, I might dance at 8 p.m., 8 to 11, okay? And then a little break, and then in the nightclub, maybe from 1 to 7 in the morning.
Oh, gosh.
So I'm like coming in, when the children, there's a school right across the street from where I live, so the kids are on their way to school, and I'm like, and I wear very sensible clothing because I don't want to be in like a rhinestone encrusted abaya, and like it's already drawing too much attention. So my hours are weird. So this does kind of cut things out. Do I go to the pyramids? Not really. I've been there like twice in 8 years. But I'll tell you what I loved. I loved horseback riding by the pyramids. My cousin came to visit me, and we had an amazing time. I actually told myself, I'm going to start doing that. Why not, when I finish work, every now and then, go.
Yeah.
I'm already down, maybe on Harem Street. Go horseback riding a couple times. So that's actually something I want to start doing. I would say, what's fun is just, there's always the boats going on the Nile. You can just like chill out. There's lots of nice restaurants that are right there. It's very close to where I live. I try to avoid traffic when I'm not working. So when I'm not working, I just like to walk around in the neighborhood, go grocery shopping. I know that sounds dorky, but go to the little
it's daily life.
The little fruit market
it's
guy. They know
Yeah.
me. They know what I like. Yeah, and so just kind of, I don't like to stress myself out more than I have to because it's stressful enough in the work.
Right.
The thing I like the least is, of course, the traffic. It's so crowded. So I enjoy the food there. It's really good. Cooking, trying to like learn different things. Just the neighborhood. I live near a hospital, which is really convenient. And there's a really horrible gym there that's like super, where's, they're missing a 5-kilo dumbbell. Where's this? Where's that? But you go there and it's like there's just 3 people in the gym and you can just kind of hang out and do your thing. I enjoy that. And I like watching American TV. I'm telling you, I don't watch much TV, but Ferris Bueller's Day Off came on the other day, and I was like, yes, getting to see some old stuff you don't get to see, and so in my off time, I try to just chill, and then, of course, it is dance related, but then visiting my costume designer, Iman Zeki, she's my main designer, and I like to go visit her. We do fitting, so it's dance related, but it's actually very fun for me.
Yeah, well, the costuming is always the best part, as far as I'm concerned.
So that's like kind of like, like what
And then, what do you miss the most? Like when you're there, what do you miss the most from the States, would you say?
Well,
other than family and
friends. To be funny, I would say guacamole.
Yeah.
I miss some good Mexican food. No, yeah, I mean, sometimes you just get a hankering for something, that you have at home. But, I mean, the convenience. Like, I'll tell you something. When you come home and you can get every single style of every possible thing, whether it's a dance shoe, you just order it, send it. You can get things on Amazon in 2 seconds. And maybe there is that capability sometimes in Egypt where you can have things sent to you. But I'm telling you, being able to go to a store and just say, I've got too many choices. It's an incredible thing that we take for granted. Because
so that doesn't really exist there?
It does, but it may not just be the things that are working for you, or you have to, here it's your brands. You know what you want. You're going to get this type of foundation. You're going to get this type of nail glue, this type of hair dye or whatever, these supplies, these things. I mean, I go home, I stock up. I mean, I'm sure the people in customs are like, is she selling this stuff? The answer is no. I'm using it all. I'm using every single bit of it. No eyeliner for you. Yeah. So I miss the convenience that we have here, and just being able to say
access to luxuries and product,
to everything.
Yeah.
You know, hey, if you need a certain kind of vitamin, you know, you just go and get it. You know, there you're like, maybe you have to. Is it the same as this? I don't know. It's in Arabic. What does this mean? Is it going to do that? You know, things like that. But I will tell you something interesting. There, you go to the doctor, maybe, or you go to the pharmacy. So say you have a pain or you have a headache. You need something for that. You go to the pharmacy. And they might want to say, hey, I've got a cold. Oh, you need this injection, or you need this or that. And you don't necessarily go to a doctor. They tell you what it is that you need, and you either decide you're going to take it or you don't. You know, now if it's anything heavy duty, then you will need a doctor's prescription. But there's a lot of things. Maybe maybe you need antibiotics because you've got something and you need just a Z-Pack or something. You can go and get it. That's something we don't have in America. That's pretty cool. You could just go and, you know, and you're like, hey, my back hurts. I know exactly what I need for that. You don't have to go to the doctor. You just go to the pharmacy.
Interesting.
And yeah, so it works both ways. You know, there is ease for some things like that. Yeah.
So now, how does your family, and I know you're very close with your family, how do they feel about having their precious daughter in a foreign land all these years?
Honestly, they don't love it.
Yeah.
They miss me. They're really happy when I come home. My brother and his wife actually did come and visit me. They came to Sharm el-Sheikh and they saw the shows, and that was fantastic. That was really wonderful. They are worried about my safety.
Yeah, I can imagine.
You know, I lived in New York City. I lived, you know, I just kind of feel like anywhere where you are, things can happen, problems can happen. Do you want to live in fear all the time? Do I want to jump into the lion's den and be in the middle of a fire? No, of course not. So, no. I mean, if I felt right now that it was very unsafe for me, I would not put myself in that situation.
Well, and I was going to ask about that too, because unfortunately there have been many scary things going on in the world recently. And where you are, I mean, do you have like emergency plans, or you know, what has your experience of that been?
Okay, well, when the revolution happened, I was in Sharm el-Sheikh, so I avoided a lot of the horrible things that were happening in Cairo because I was in another area. So people were very concerned looking at the news and seeing all these horrible riots and things, and none of that was existing in Sharm el-Sheikh. But I did, my parents were like, you need to evacuate. I said, in order to evacuate, I'm in Sharm el-Sheikh. I need to get out of the country. I have to fly through Cairo. In order to get out, I need to go to where the problems are happening. It's better if I stay where I am if I can. And I did. And it was fine. But I did have my emergency suitcase for, there was a short time where I just had it ready. And they said, you know, please just, be ready if you need to go. Yeah. And I did. And then at some point, I kept taking something out and using it. And then finally, my suitcase was empty. And I went about my normal life.
The crisis had passed.
Yeah, I went about my normal life. But I tried to keep it for about a week, that emergency suitcase. Yeah, being in Cairo, there's been some things that have happened, of course. But there's things happening all over the world, for that matter. So I would say, in general, the normal life is normal. You go about your business. You're walking down the street. If you know how to dress properly and act, I mean, I don't cover my hair, but I try to dress respectfully. And, I feel like you don't draw more. I mean, you might be drawing attention, but it's not that negative. You just go about your business. And I haven't really felt unsafe. There have been some things that have happened, like incidents, for example, random things. Like there was a nightclub that I worked in at one point, and somebody got upset and who knows why, set the place on fire.
Oh my goodness.
And it was a death trap because only the back door was barred or locked, and I think about 17 people died. It was horrible. And 6 of them were girls who worked there, like hostesses, waitresses, and I am sure, some of those people, I would see on a daily basis. And that was a horrible, for me, that hit home more than some of these other things, because I'm like, hey, you just take it for granted. You see these people all the time. And I could even say, oh man, that's not my favorite place to work. But when something like that happens, and then your heart's
part of your world.
It is, and so you really feel like, oh yeah, that one manager that was kind of a jerk, boy, I hope he's okay, and so that I would say happened about a year ago, and that one occurrence, which had nothing to do with terrorism, it had nothing to do with political states of anything, it was just some random occurrence of something happening, and that was an eye-opener.